Good morning and welcome to Creative Marketing TV. My name is Susan Joy Schlief. I am the founder and host of Creative Marketing TV. And I just clicked the wrong thing here. There we go. I was trying to bring myself into the corner of the opening screen and I turned the whole thing off instead. So this is Creative Marketing TV, where we talk about creative marketing ideas. And this week I'm doing a short training about animated GIFs. Wanted to let you know also that later this month, on the 24th, I'm going to have a panel to talk about repurposing your content for content marketing. And I'll have several guests on that week to talk about repurposing. So you can look forward to that. I'll be sending out the promotions for that this coming week. But today we're going to talk about animated GIFs. So let me get my glasses on so I can start changing screens here. And I had trouble getting my screen sharing to work right to show you the behind the scenes in PowerPoint, how I create these. So I'm going to show you a video instead, a short video, and also then show you some samples that I have posted on Facebook and on my webpage so you can see what we're talking about. Now, the thing is here, you don't have to use PowerPoint to do these. You can use whatever graphics editor you like. If you like to use Canvas, then Canva, rather, then you use Canva. Or if you use PicMonkey or Photoshop even. The graphic editor isn't the important part. All you need to do is create a series of images and then use some kind of tool to convert them to a GIF. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But first, let me show you what we're talking about here. So I'm going to take you over to my webpage where I posted a blog post last week about, oops, I don't have it on the right page here. Let me take care of that. I posted a blog post about GIFs, short videos and GIFs, talking about what's the difference between the two. And when you're looking at them, there's really not that much difference. But they are different file types. Let's see here. Why isn't that coming up? Oh, I think I might have forgotten to share that page. So let me take care of that quick. Sorry about that. Got lots of different things that I was sharing at the last minute here because I couldn't get the PowerPoint share to work correctly. All right, now let's see. Okay, now you should be seeing my webpage. And there's a cute little video here of President Obama making a GIF with, I can't remember that guy's name. He's the founder of Tumblr. But I won't show you that. I just want to bring you down here and show you one that I did create for this blog post. And I had a little problem with the GIF conversion tool that I use most of the time. You might notice around the cup handle and around the edges of the saucer, it's a little bit jagged looking, and the original images were not that way. So I've got their support looking into it. They said they thought it had something to do with the fact that they were transparent images and that their program just wasn't handling them quite right. But anyway, one thing to keep in mind, and I did go into it a little bit in the in the blog post here, is that GIFs, or some people say GIFs, are really an old file type. And so they've been around, I think, since the 1990s, if I remember correctly. And they're not super high quality because back then people just didn't have high quality video. You know, the internet hardware technology and software technology hadn't gotten to that point yet. That was before YouTube and before streaming videos, and they just were not very high quality. That same file format is still around, and you know, people love sharing those funny GIFs like the dancing baby and all kinds of things you can find on Giphy.com. But those are not very high quality. So when you put them on a big monitor, if you try and look at them large, they're going to look horrible. But even at the original scale like this, sometimes they don't turn out super high quality. They look pixelated. But, you know, if somebody's just trying to share something funny, they aren't looking so much at the quality of the video. Here's another one that I did from a previous blog post where I shared a GIF I had made for Valentine's Day. And the secret to both of these on my blog here and to the type that I'm encouraging you to check into is all you do is make a series of images that lead from one to the other. So there's a small change from one image to the next. And then that ends up making it look like there's animation. So how can it look like animation when it's really just an image? Well, let me come back on my webcam here and talk to you a little bit about that. I know you don't want to keep watching that thing moving over and over because it gets a little bit annoying after a while. All right. So you have to think differently about what a video is, really. And most people don't think about this, but because I create videos all the time for my job, I mean, this is something that I think about a lot. When videos or movies, as they used to be called, right? When they were first getting started, they were known as motion pictures. And you still will hear that term once in a while in the United States. They talk about the motion picture industry, right? I don't know if they still use that term, but that's the term that was used for many years. Because a movie or a video is really just a series of pictures. Each frame of a movie, and they're referred to as frames, each frame is an image by itself. It's a picture. So you can take a series of pictures and put them in sequence and save it as a video or as an animated GIF, which is a kind of an early type of video. So it's really, anytime you're watching a video, it's really a series of images. It's just that they are so short and so close together that the movement seems continuous to us as we're watching it. This kind of animated GIF that I showed you for the Valentine's one, and for the cups too, they don't have the smooth, continuous motion that we're used to with a video. And so that's why it looks different to us. You could make it that way. It would just be a lot more work. Instead, you get these sort of jumps in movement that makes it look a little bit more like a stop motion video, which is kind of the same thing. It's a series of images, right? With a little bit of a jump from one image to the next. So it's just, they are still a series of images creating a video. It's just a matter of how smooth and continuous the motion looks compared to having a jump in it that makes it look a little bit different. So that's not inherent to a GIF. It's just because of the fact that you have a little bit of a gap in the movement there, so it makes it look like it's jumping. I hope that explanation is clear. Now, the other thing you should be aware of with GIFs, with the different file type, is that they tend to be large files, which seems a little strange to me, because if they're poor quality, they should be smaller files than a video, but they're not. They're larger files because it's a totally different type of file, and it stores the information in a different way that's not as efficient. So generally, larger file sizes, poorer quality visuals, but the big advantage that GIFs have from a file perspective is that you don't need a player to watch it. So if I want to post a video on my blog, let me go back to that blog page for a minute and show you, because I had a video up there as well. So let me scroll up to that first blog post, the current one, and notice up here I have a video, but it's not playing automatically. It has a YouTube logo on it because it's using the YouTube player embedded on my blog post. I could put my own video on there, but then I would need to use a different player to make it play. You can't just upload a video to your blog post. You have to have a video player to show that video. With a GIF, that's not true. It doesn't need a player. So you can just upload the animated GIF, and as soon as somebody's looking at your blog post, they're going to see it moving. So that's the big advantage. Now, you do need to be a little bit careful when you're embedding a GIF in a blog post. It has to be the right size in order for the animation to show and things like that. I can't go into that today, really, but sometimes people will upload them and then it's not moving. They just get a static image, and there's an explanation behind that, but I don't have time to go into today. So the thing is, GIFs have become popular on the internet and on social media, mostly because of the funny GIFs from websites like Giphy.com. But that's not inherent to the definition of what a GIF is. A GIF is a file type that's like an early version of a video. Very different, but somewhat like a video. However, because most people only know them from the funny, goofy kind of video GIFs, that's what most people associate with a GIF. However, in recent years, GIFs have been used a lot in the technology industry as well to make very short looping demo clips. And again, the reason why that's an advantage then is because you don't need a video player to display it. So they can embed a short GIF as part of a help file. So if somebody goes to look up, how do I do XYZ, they can have the written instructions, but they can also embed a GIF there so that people can see, okay, where do I have to go to click on that? And that can be a huge advantage, to just embed those animated GIFs rather than have to add a video player in order for it to be visible as a motion. So technology is using them, but then I started thinking, what else can we use them for? Well, obviously I'm using them for holiday themes like this, but I put together a little video that I'm going to show you that has some samples of other things I've been working on. I had hoped to show you this right in PowerPoint, but for some reason it's just not sharing correctly. It seems to only want to share a slideshow, but not show you the behind the scenes screen where I'm actually putting it together, and that's what I wanted to show you. So I have a little bit of it in the video to show you uh, what it looks like when the slides are all put together. So let me switch over and show you that video now. So I just opened up several different ones. Now here's one where you could put a list of short tips. And then this one, I let it go much faster as it was just changing the colors on those letters. Most of the time I try to slow it down a little bit if there's something that people have to read. And just so that it doesn't look too crazy. Like if that was switching really fast, it gets a little bit frenetic looking, I think. Now you can also make GIFs from a video clip, and that's what this one is. I just took a short, like 5 or 6 second section of a video and had it loop over and over. So here's a couple more examples of how I used it to talk about a tip related to my niche. And then here are a couple that somebody might use if they're a yoga instructor or a fitness instructor. Just a humorous thing to share on social media or on a blog post. Oh, that makes me want to yawn. And then here's one that I just created yesterday, actually, to help promote this Hangout and webinar. Looks like that one's not playing, though. Oh, I think it looped back to the beginning and it didn't start over again. All right, well, I have that one on Facebook too, so I'll show you on there. So let me show you just a couple quick more examples on Facebook, and then I want to talk to you about how you can learn how to do these. Let me get the right page open over there. All right. Okay, so is that going to play? It was playing, but then when I switched over, it stopped. And this one, I think I probably put too much text on there. It's hard to read it that fast. So then I put the information in the description as well. But this is basically just a series of, excuse me, a series of pictures at the beginning, and then the slides I saved with the text, I saved those out as images as well. And because it was all white, I wanted to put some kind of border around it to show up better in the social media feed. So I took this picture frame that I had in my picture files and added that around the edge of the slides. So let me take you over to my Facebook group and show you another one in there. Let's see if it's going to switch for you. I'll have to check and see whether it's showing the right screen now. Otherwise, I'll have to reshare that. Oh, that's the same one there. Okay, let me scroll down here because I had some of my Valentine ones that I put out here too. Come on. Okay, here's a couple of the Valentine ones. Let me see if that's showing you the right thing here. Looks like it is. Good. But it's not looping them for some reason. I have had trouble with that before in groups. Sometimes in Facebook groups, it only shows it once through and doesn't loop. Oh, now it's looping. And then here's another one underneath here. I think that's the one I had in the video clip as well. Now, strangely, in Facebook, sometimes it will upload the GIF and keep it as a GIF, but other times it automatically converts it to a video. I have not been able to figure out what the difference is from Facebook's perspective, but when somebody's looking at it, they can't tell the difference. It looks the same. All right, so let me come back on the webcam and tell you about this training opportunity that you have coming up. As I said, I've described the process to you that it's just a matter of finding a series or creating a series of images that have a little bit of change from one picture to the next, and then saving them as a sequence of images. You can do that from PowerPoint, or if you're using another image editor, that will work too. And then just number them in order. And then there are numerous websites where you can upload those images and convert them to a GIF. And then there are also software programs that you can install to do that. And one that I've been using quite a bit is called GIFZine, GIFZIGN, and it comes from the people who make a graphics editor called Uzine. And I like GIFZine. It installs on your computer, so you're not having to wait for an online process. But then there's also a free one that I've been experimenting with on the web. A lot of these are free on the web. The one that I've liked particularly is EasyGIF, EZGIF.com. And I think I have that shared here, so let me bring that up and show you. Page. There we go. Okay. All right. So when you get to EasyGIF.com, they have actually 4 different tools here. The one you want to use is the GIF Maker. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Did switch that. Good. And then you just click here to choose your files from your hard drive. Once you have them all uploaded, then you click on Upload and make a GIF. Once it has made it, then you can make changes. It'll let you change how many seconds or how many hundredths of a second it stays on each picture. So you can adjust the speed and things like that. So I gave you an opportunity when some of you registered in advance for this and got access to a bundle of images that you can use to experiment with this. If somebody's watching this later and you didn't get that, I will put the link to access that bundle of free images in the description under this video. And there are 100 images in there that you can use that can make sequences like what I was showing you today. And you can experiment with using EasyGIF.com. But if you'd like to learn more about the tips that I've been discovering about the best way to modify your images, the best timing for how long to stay on each image, using some of the other tools, some of the free tools, some of the installable tools. All of that is something I'm going to go over in a new training that I'm starting later this month. I haven't even set the date yet. I'm thinking I'm probably going to start March 20, no, not March. Sorry, April 4th is what I'm looking at. But I haven't totally decided on that for sure yet. And I don't have a sales page finished for you yet, but what you can do if you are interested in that training is send me an email, and then I will send you a link to the sales page, which I'll be finishing this weekend. The other thing I'm going to go over in that training is not just how to make the GIFs from a series of images, even though I love that method, but I will also talk about creating a GIF from a video clip like the ones you saw with the cat and the swan and the coffee pour. And there are so many free videos available, if you know where to look, that those can be good sources for creating GIFs. Or you can use your own video as well. And then there's a third section that we're going to talk about also of how to do screen capture videos and turn them into GIFs. There are some free tools available for that that will let you do, if you're doing any kind of training on a web page or on an application, and you want to create, like I talked about, those very short looping videos that show how to do a particular task. There are some great tools for that. Now, if you have a screen capture program like Camtasia or ScreenFlow, you can use that and then just take your video clip and upload it to a site that will convert the video to a GIF. But for people who don't have that software, which is rather expensive, then there are some free tools that will let you capture that video and turn it into a GIF. So that's all I have for today. And I'm sorry it wasn't quite the demo I had originally hoped that it would be, but you got some ideas of different kinds of things you can create with this approach to animated GIFs. I'm just having a lot of fun with creating these out of the images, and I hope that you will give it a try. If you do create something, please go and either leave a comment on my Facebook page and post a link to your sample, or if you have any interest in learning more about different ways to create short video like this, request to join my Facebook group, and then you can share in there. We're always comparing notes on different projects that people are working on. And the name of that group is Social Videos Made Easy. So you can search for that and just request to join, and I'll approve you as soon as I can. So let me just bring up my closing screen here with my offer. So if you have any interest in this class on creating animated GIFs, just send an email to me. You can send it to video@presentationswithresults.com. And in the subject line, just put GIF course. And then I will get back to you by the end of this weekend with a link to the description of the course and the sales page. And because we're not going to be starting for a couple weeks, I'm going to have an introductory lesson for you to go through at your own time, before we get ready to start the live webinars. So I'll put a lesson together that has something to do with choosing images and choosing a topic and things like that, so that you can start thinking about how you might use this in your business or professional work. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them under the video. I would love to hear from you. And until March 24th, when we have our next session on repurposing, this is Susan Joy Schlief signing off for Creative Marketing TV.